Can Daniil Medvedev defend his US Open title with Djokovic out of the way? Let's talk about it. I'm your host, Crina Mustafa, and welcome to Game, Set, Bet. Okay, let's start with the futures in the ATP. The favorite to win the US Open was Novak Djokovic until it was finally confirmed that he couldn't even enter the country. So let's just move on. Next on the list to win it all happens to be last year's champ Daniil Medvedev. After being excluded from Wimbledon, Medvedev has a hardcourt title under his belt and made the semifinals of the Cincy Open, falling in 3 sets to world number 5, Stefanos Tsitsipas. At plus 220, he's a great pick to defend his points and lift the trophy again. Right behind him at plus 490 is Rafa Nadal. Unfortunately, it's become a season of injuries for the Clay King, who lost against eventual champ Borna Coric in the round of 32 at the Cincy Open, his first match since withdrawing from the semis at Wimbledon. With very few hardcourt reps under his belt this summer, a Grand Slam may be a little out of reach. If you're looking for a good dark horse, let's go with Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime at plus 2400. Being back on a surface that favors his big serve has proven to be beneficial for the young Canadian, who has lost to the eventual finalist or champ at his last 2 tournaments. FAA fell to Daniil Medvedev in the semifinals of the US Open last year, so he knows what it takes to make a deep run at a Grand Slam. Now, let's take a look at the odds on the WTA side. As she has been for every Grand Slam this year, Iga Swiatek is the top favorite to win the US Open. But let me stop you right there. Swiatek hasn't exactly had a dominant hardcourt season. The seemingly unstoppable player on the WTA Tour has now dropped 2 of her last 4 matches, losing in the 3rd round in Toronto and Cincy. It happens, we're all human. But this does make the odds for the US Open title a little more exciting. Second to win the title is Romanian Simona Halep, who is just coming off of a WTA 1000 title in Toronto. She did have a leg injury in Cincy, causing her to withdraw from her 2nd round matchup, but she appears to be well and practicing in New York. If she keeps up her form and gets back to the Halep winning ways, there's a chance she could finally make a deep run at the US Open. A great dark horse on the women's side is none other than teenager Coco Gauff. Gauff had a solid run in Toronto, losing to Halep in the quarters, but beating both Rybakina and Sabalenka to get there. She also won the title in doubles, so it's safe to say she's pretty comfortable on the hard court. At plus 1400, the Roland Garros finalist is a great pick to win her first Grand Slam. With the last Grand Slam of the year starting soon, it'll be a tight race to the title.